Back guys, Harry here, known as Trade Sharp, and today's video is going to be very interesting. Gonna have a look at Ethereum. I really think it's now finished its sideways and it's gonna get ready to move based on the volume of this daily candle. I want to give some targets here, see what the market's doing, and yeah, I think I should be on Ethereum. I think Ethereum is just getting going, and we can see some really high numbers. Just going back to the weekly, and we'll have a look. So daily here, looking like we had a pullback, now closing doji, which basically means that equal buying, selling pressure, and now if we do take out this 3595 today, I do think Ethereum from today on the weekend gets going and hits my 37 target, and after that hits even more targets, which I'm gonna lay out now. So we can see on the lower time frames we have this consolidation here with a top somewhere around here, something like this, and the low side of the range, something like that. And this is why it's boring, but it looks like it's starting to accumulate and probably is getting quite late into this accumulation, ready to explode. Looking at 2 days looking good. I want to see if 2 days closing above the topside Bollinger Band, and yes, you can see it is. So this is all telling me continuation, and that will close today, but it looks like we will get the closure. 3 day on the other hand, it's been closing. The daily will look a bit boring, but that looks like it will start closing above. And just for reference, as anytime the weekly has closed above the topside Bollinger Band, we've seen some really explosive price actions, anywhere between 100 to 300%. And if we were to just put that into context, 100% from here is something like I need to zoom out. So 100% from here is something like a $6,000 Ethereum, which I really think is in the cards. And the upper end, we've seen 200 is 200% is getting to that $10,000 Ethereum. So I really think that based on history, Ethereum is in the position to do that, and we'll have to see what it does. Now I do think that we'll have our stops along the way, but I really do think that we start hitting these higher numbers here on Ethereum. And looking at daily, do we have a nice base? I mean, I could technically take it from there and see what we're looking at after these targets, like 4,400. These are the higher targets that start to come, but I want to take it day by day. What is 4 hour telling me for some targets here? And yeah, basically 3.8 is now the next target, to be honest. So I think this will be more accurate right here through, so yeah, I'm looking for this to be hit, and I do think we could get a breakout here. I think just a closure above this pivot here, and I do think we start moving up. So I'm possibly looking for an opportunity, to be honest, a small scalp. Looking at Stokes, they are turned down, but what we can see is that we do have a sort of descending. What is the 1 hour lower time frames? They are down. We do have this trend line. So if we can meet this trend line on the 1 hour, come maybe down like that, I would see that as an opportunity. And yeah, that would look good, to be honest. If we could meet it something like that, come down, boop, bounce off that, boom, that's your buy-in target. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on that. It's looking good. At the end, it could just turn up from here, to be honest. Looking how this 1 hour will close in 15 minutes. If it closes bullish and the wick is taken out, I do think we could see it just come and explode out of here and continue up and onwards. I do think I should be on altcoins because they are what are moving, and especially Ethereum here. All looking at Bitcoin, still a bit boring, but Bitcoin putting in some bullish structure. We can see that Bitcoin still caught in the range, but putting in some sort of I've seen people saying this is inverse head and shoulders, but it's not really inverse head and shoulders. It's just low, another higher low, and another higher low. There's no I don't see a point. And the funny thing is that you know it's going to be a range based move, right? So these things always end up lining up. If you look here to the left, we have clean candles moving up to our next resistance. Our next resistance is where? Here, right? So if we were to take the measure of this move, okay, and see where our next resistance is. So I showed you where our next resistance, we take the measurement of that move, which technically should be only to here, like that, and we put it, where's it lining up with? After our resistance, a bit after our resistance 63,000. But that's why I don't trust it. Not really, but it does look like that Bitcoin, we have here an upwards trend coming. We can see Stokes are turned up here on the 4 hour. 1 hour Stokes are crossing up, have a very aggressive trend line. Uh, yeah, I do think that Bitcoin might have a small weekend pump, but I think all eyes should be on Ethereum, and I think Ethereum is the thing that is moving. But now the question comes into Bitcoin. Daily is clearly in the range. Do we get a rejection somewhere here at that 59,000, right? That pivot, come back down and test around, 50,000-ish, maybe just on the top here of this order block 55. Or do we just accumulate between this new range here and then get going, Looking at Ethereum, yeah, it looks like it does want to bounce out of this area, now. Yeah, here's the rejection. So this is interesting. I want to see if this is going to get rejected now and meet that 1 hour trend line. We'll see how the Stokes turn up now. But what I'm also keeping in mind, if you look at funding rate here, and it's, yeah, it just closed the funding rate. So you see now we just finished the funding rate, and look, price is going up. So funding rate is now finished, and now you can see people buying in their new orders. So yeah, looking good. I do think we do get a short-term pump here, but I want to see how this hourly closes. 13 minutes. Yeah, I do think you see here's the move that we're talking about. I do think we get going from here. With that being said, take care, trade sharp, and until next time, peace.